If all we did was delivered you the most beautifully assembled rack of the best equipment that you can buy from the best technology companies on the planet, and did it in 45 days, and you were able to immediately use it, that's kind of neat. But if you had to keep operating it like it's just a bunch of things in a really nice rack, are we done? We don't think so. Now, when we started, we began just trying to get to the point that we could reliably put out all of these systems and do them reliably and do the change management and do the release management, and we said that's not enough because people continue to have to operate infrastructure as individual pieces. And what have we been told by IDC, who's gone out and studied about 20 of our customers? This rigor and this care leads to typically 4 times faster deployments. It leads to huge reductions in downtime. And you go, how can you reduce downtime by that percentage? That's crazy. Except there's a whole part of what we do that focuses on what not to do. When we go through and evaluate all of the changes that come from, I mean, we've got the coolest thing in the world. We've got the R&D summed budgets of Cisco, VMware, and EMC. Show me someone else that has that. And they've got badges that open the doors and laptops that work in all of those places. So we can go and see all the raw information and all the raw data. And we walk the hallways with our investors. We know their stuff, and they know us. And we're on the inside when they're building it, and they're helping us build our gear. But what we also know is what not to do. There's a bit of a theme here. We have people whose job it is to read release notes for patches. For some reason, it's hard to hire these people, but when we find them, they like what they do. They don't talk to people very much. They mostly just look at notes. And what are they trying to do? They're trying to figure out, of the constant stream of patches that come out, which ones have anything to do with your use case, with your Vblock, with the network adapters that we use that are standard, with the fabric interconnects that we use, with the interaction of the particular host bus adapters that we use and a particular model of storage array from our friends at EMC, from our investors. We narrow the case and we do fewer things to the machine. What do we know? If you don't mess with it, you might not break it. Because every time you mess with it, it's a chance for something to go wrong. People make mistakes. We all do. So we try and keep our fingers out of the system. By doing that and introducing only the change that's necessary to sustain the system, we wind up with greatly reduced downtime. And by the way, too, we've sort of, again, designed this thing for redundancy. In terms of time to deploy services, if you've got a stable platform that simply works, and as you deploy on multiple systems over time, and we're able to certify that we're giving you the same base platform to deploy upon, you have fewer things to worry about. And then finally, because of the overall density and efficiency of the Vblock systems, our customers are reporting a reduction in their physical data center costs and the overall power utilized. Part of that is we build balanced systems. It doesn't do us any good to put whatever gig Ethernet that's 10 times what the storage can support, or put 10 times the storage IOP capability that the blades that can support. And we do this through our simulation and through our design engineering in order to ensure we build balanced systems that don't have wasted resources. We want you to run out of compute, networking, and storage at about the same time. Because if you run out of one of them while you've got the others underutilized, you've spent money on resources that you can't use because you're out of something. Okay, so this is really a key part of our design. The market's shown it. Our friends at Gartner have cut the market up. You all can go look at Gartner, but the key place that we play is in the integrated infrastructure business, and right now we're about 50% of that market. So this segment didn't even exist with Gartner 3 years ago, and now we're pretty proud to be leading it. All right, there are clickers that you all have, and we need, before you vote, we're going to do a quick vote here, but you need to go ahead and get your clickers out. We need to set them to the right channel. So you're going to press, oops. You're going to press CH11CH on your clickers. And then we're going to go ahead and put a question up here in a moment, but go ahead and start out with CH11CH. And we're going to have a question. What integrated converged infrastructure systems are primarily you considering? The Vblock, Hewlett-Packard systems, C, IBM, Hitachi, Dell, and Oracle, D, reference architectures, E, hyperconverged systems, or F, not interested in converged. You're just here for the wonderful beer and appetizers. Okay, if you want to go ahead and make your votes, they'll go ahead and tally them up in the back and put them up on the board here in a moment. We like A. We good? Okay, let's go ahead and go forward. Wow. Cool. Our work here is done. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful seeing you. You know, I was taught a long time ago by a really great sales guy. When you've been told yes, you stop talking. Thank you very much. Rob here will give you a quote. Enjoy the cocktails. All right. So we're going to keep going forward here. So we're going to ask ourselves some questions here. Is technology driving your organization in a way you want it to, or is the complexity making life harder? And as you deal with this complexity, is this causing your organization, your business, to put its resources in the place that provides the greatest user to your customers, to your shareholders, to your investors? And what are we doing about this? Because sometimes people are telling us, no, man, I feel like I'm the first one to ever put this stuff together. Don't you guys ever get together and actually build one of these things that you tell us how great they are? Well, you know what? You are the first to put it together. You truly are. Because when you look at the math, and I'm going to show you all the decisions you get to make, the odds of you making exactly the same set of decisions as any human being to ever walk this earth before you are about 0. You probably are the first to put something together with exactly that arrangement of physical technology. And all the integration points, there are about 40 of them that are the important ones. Take 40 independent variables, mix them up. Let's see if 2 of you get the same answer, and we can just do that with paper, and you're not going to get there. So, we would like to run some applications. We need some computers. Maybe blades would be nice, maybe some racks. How much memory? What brand? Who are approved vendors? What do our data center guys think about these things? Where are we from a power perspective? Oh yeah, storage. I have to talk about storage, all right? EMC, you know, part of the E and VCE, EMC, we like that, okay? Storage is important, but does EMC sell one storage product? And occasionally people may choose to use something other than EMC. I don't know why, but it seems to happen from time to time. And not only do you have to worry about that, you need to worry about what storage processors you're going to use, what kind of caching you're going to use, what kind of software you're going to use for resiliency, the features. Oh, rats. I have to hook these together. Cisco, Brocade, Director class, 1U, which ones? 4 gig, 8 gig, 16 gig. Fiber channel over Ethernet, iSCSI, NFS, CIFS. What version? Now I need to talk to the world. This would be so much easier if we didn't need users and didn't have to talk to them. Oh, what protocols am I going to use? How am I going to get to the outside world? How am I going to deal with my network guy that is so tired of spanning tree? And he's done everything he can to get it out. So I guess that's off the table. So am I going to use something that looks like Trill? Am I going to use Fabric Path? What's this ACI thing Cisco keeps talking about? Hey, there's NSX. I think I need VXLAN. You have many decisions to make. Oh, there are touch points with versions. Well, now I got to let software touch it, which I'm a hardware guy. Software's inconvenient. This I like. This is bare metal. I actually like this too. They did a pretty cool thing because they made this look like software. I have virtualization. And now I have the interesting question that VCE had to conquer in the early days. So we came out and said, we are your company if you are 100% virtualized. And we sat around the office and looked at the telephone. It didn't ring. We were confused. And we said, maybe this is a journey. And there has to be a way to have a certain quality of experience while you have virtual and non-virtual workloads in the Vblock. And we said, how are we going to do this? We'll go out of business if the 100 of us are going to support Microsoft and Solaris and HPUX and AIX and how many flavors of Linux and on and on and on and on. So what we did is we said, basically, vSphere is our operating system. To us, that's how we see vSphere. It's our operating system. It is our underlying hypervisor. It is our control plane. It is our operating system. And we also provide, though, the ability to have the entire experience right up to the server, and you can bring your own. What do you want to run on this thing? You know there are Vblocks out there that run things other than VMware? There are other hypervisors. We think VMware is the best. But there actually are some interesting use cases where sometimes you use some other technologies, okay? And so we're not closing and welding the door shut. What we're saying is if you're going to run a hypervisor that we don't know much about, we will support everything here. And if you call and say, doggone it, my Red Hat can't talk to my storage array, we're going to go, all right, let us begin. We're going to trace through all the paths, and we're going to determine and diagnose and make sure this is all good and see what we can figure out. And if we've got a problem here, we're going to solve it. And if we think we've got a problem with Red Hat, we'll help. Now, we can't make them stay on the phone if we go, hi, we're here with customer ABC, and we see this Red Hat issue. They may go, hey, you're VCE. You need to hang up, and we'll talk to the customer. But we're not about just throwing it over the wall. And you know, this is kind of the first stage of what we deliver when we talk about our service experience, which I'll talk about here just a little bit more, because that's one of the things that truly differentiates converged infrastructure. True converged infrastructure, factory-built converged infrastructure, single point of support converged infrastructure. We'll get back there in a moment. So you can go and you can make an investment in figuring all this out, and you have infinite configuration. You can make any choices you want. We're going to get you down to 350 million choices. Now, I have to be real upfront here. If EMC decides to add a 1.8 terabyte 2.5-inch disk drive, my number of permutations go up, so this is kind of ridiculous. But the fact is, we build these little, we build them small, we build them tall, we build them wide. We have one that is the right size for your workload. We don't put Brocade switches in them. Don't have NetApp. Kind of have to use the components that we come with. But the good news is we got the best ones. So it's really pretty easy. Oh, came back to this. It's beautiful. You can go upstairs and see one. We're fanatics about it, build quality. But if the beautiful one, that's not so beautiful. The beautiful one here, you have to manage it, and it doesn't know that it's beautiful. It just thinks it's all these pieces in a pretty rack. Well, we've solved some problems, but not all of them. Matter of fact, you still have these silos. You still have your storage expert and your network expert and your virtualization expert. And each silo will pick its own tools. And then we have the IT service management person who wants to understand how all of those tools relate to all of these disciplines. And they love audits and evaluations. Been through them. It's an eye exam. They believe that the toe is connected to the eye. I don't know why. Not fun. What we really want is a software world to see this logically as we see it physically, as an entity of itself greater than the sum of the parts. And to do this, we've introduced VCE Vision Intelligent Operations. Do we all know what this is? This is the thing on the back of the cable box on the side of the TV. Conveniently, they put one here. It's our HDMI cable. these people and these people never talk to each other, but they've agreed on how this wire works, and I can plug it in, and these two things will do something good. Because it's a standard. It's published, it's open, it's well understood. It's encrypted, unfortunately. Don't like that, but we don't encrypt ours. Well, actually, we do, because you do want some of this stuff to go over encrypted channels. But the idea is that we publish it in such a way that we have VCE Vision APIs or plugins, and we have connectivity available to different management modalities.